In the words of the famous poet Sir Mix-a-Lot, in his 1992 seminal work Baby Got Back, I like big bots and I cannot lie. What? Not bots. What was it? Oh. This is what we have today. We've got a lovely brown box with the shipping label ripped off, because never let the internet know where you live. That's just crazy talk. This is the new, well, you've probably seen it in the thumbnail, Chaos Knights box. So this comes from Games Workshop. It's a very big box, so it barely fits in my table. And yeah. So we're going to look at the new sprues for the Abominant. That's the big knight. This one comes with all the sprues you need. So that's that one, and that one, and that one. That is the existing Chaos Knight kit. That is the Rampager and the Desecrator. So you can build those variants. So I'll knock over these. These are the old sprues. Well, the existing sprues. They're not old. They're still fairly new. I mean, copyright 2019. So they're a couple of years old. But here's the new sprue. So you can see on this that you're going to get the big whippy thing. I have no idea what the name of that is. And the gun. So I can't remember the name of the gun on this. I think is that Volkite? I think it's a Volkite one. You've also got a nice new head. You've got some birds. I don't know why there are birds, but there are birds. I need to change this mat over. What's the other side of this? Oh, it's different colour grey. I did get a blue one. I might use a blue one at some point. But anyway. So, I mean, it's nice that you get the full kit now. I think they did state in a Warhammer community post that they were going to rebox pretty much all the knights, so the Imperials, the Chaos Knights, so that you would basically get all the sprues you need to make whatever variant you want. So knights are one of the best magnetization candidates. Like, as you may know from watching this channel, I do like to magnetize things to excess. I mean, if we look at my Armiger here, the Warglaive, I've got his this isn't finished painted yet. It's mostly finished, but not quite completely. So his guns are magnetized, his head is magnetized, and I even magnetized the body just to make it a bit easier to transport, but I might rescind that magnetization and glue it. But you can see that on a matter of scale, all the knights do this. So it is a nice thing that they've given you the guns. Magnetizing these is easy. I'll do a video on it. I'll do a video where I magnetize this big boy, because the Wardogs, I think, are going to be the same as the Armigers. So I've already got a video for those. Covered the Moirax as well, the Forge World one. But I'm really looking forward to building this, so hopefully I'll be able to get this built this week and get a video up next weekend. No promises, mind you, no promises, but I'll do a full review of this, because I'm still disappointed that they did the same thing on this one that they did on the Imperial Knights. The legs can only go in one way, which just sucks, at least with the Warglaives and the Armigers, which we'll do now, the Wardogs. At least with those you can do one with one foot forward and one with the other foot forward, so that's a nice way to work it. So, but let's have a look at these Wardogs. So you get two sets of the same sprues. So I'll just take one of those sets out of the way. We don't need that right now. So these are brand new. Now they're very similar to the Armigers and by extension the Moirax. Magnetizing this is even easier. You literally cut that off and that becomes a magnet, and then in the guns, which there are none on that sprue, but there are, and that's, so you can see, if we take this gun, flip it over, you got a little slot in there. If you can see it, that plastic bit you've just cut off would go, and you find a magnet and you glue the magnet in there. It's so easy. It is quite possibly one of the best models to magnetize. So it's basically Imperial, but spikier. I mean, now there was something on this sprue I saw earlier. Yes, the heads. I really do like those heads, the way they're kind of beaky. Bird head kind of thing. Although I don't know why you get two that are very, very similar, but I mean, they're different but similar. And then you get that one. So obviously there'll be a head. Is it on this sprue? Yeah. So on this sprue, if we flip them over, you can see you've got a head that is basically the two halves, and then you've got the face plates. So it would be nice if there was one for each of the Chaos Gods, but I'm not saying that. I might actually have a look to see if there's anything on the various 3D printer worlds. Get a model for it, download it and print it on my printer. And the other thing you probably want to do with these is keep the armor plates off to paint, because it means you can, especially if you're using an airbrush. So if you're not using an airbrush, probably not a big deal, but it means you can get a nicer layer on the airbrush. So that's the sprues. No point going into a full detail look at them. Like, I mean, nobody really cares that much. We'll have a look at the data cards now. So we'll open these up. I'm still always of the opinion that these are fairly useless. I don't know. I mean, I don't use them really. So let's have a little look. I think they're just basically stratagems. So, well, on the psychic power. So useful reminders, like, you know, if you were going to a tournament or something. I mean, it would be nice if there were army-specific objectives in these cards, you know, so you could put those into the deck and have a smaller deck of those and things. But we'll have a quick look at the instructions, because obviously you can't do the feat on the Imperial Knight. It is literally, this is the way it goes, which does suck. I mean, you would think that they would have learnt the lesson, but no. So, I mean, it is very, very similar, practically identical to the Imperial Knight, just more spiky bits. So, that's always fun. So one thing to note in these, oh, it's got a tail. I didn't realise they had a tail. Ha! That's just stupid. Okay, sorry, that's just making me laugh internally. And the one thing about these instructions is that it only gives you the instructions to build the Abominant. It doesn't say you can build the other variants, which is kind of... I mean, nobody's going to buy this not knowing, I think. Nobody's going to buy this without the knowledge that the other sprues are there. At least I don't think so, but maybe, I don't know. And then the Wardogs, you've got your Carnivore, close combat, your Brigand, which has got the ranged weapons, and then the Stalker, which is one ranged, one close combat. I do like the close combat weapon in that. It looks very good. Was it the lightning lock? The big claw thing for the Moirax is stupidly large. It's over big, but yeah. So the Wardogs, I think. Oh yeah, and they've got nice spiky feet. I'm fairly sure these are all just pretty much, yeah, you build the chassis and then the weapons, so get out of it. So magnetising those will be a doddle, so we'll do that. I'm not going to do a video on magnetising that. I'll do a video on magnetising the big knight. Okay? Promise. Maybe. Because the Wardogs are just going to be the Armiger video again, so there's no point in that. And we'll take a look at the Codex. Am I fully zoomed out? There we go. Stop wobbling. Right. Get out of there. Go watch the video on that. Right. Codex. I have to be very careful not to show my key at the back, because I haven't actually entered that yet. So I haven't got the previous Codex, so... But there are lots of pretty pictures. I mean, there's not, all the codexes are pretty much the same. Let's just get to the data sheets. I don't really care about the rest of it. Blah 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 blah. So there's another variant. Hang on. The Executioner. That is not mentioned. So basically that is the ordinary Imperial Knight, because it's got the auto cannon. So obviously you can still use your standard Imperial Knights, if you'll pardon the phrase. And then there should be another Wardog. Yeah. With the melt-a-gun and the chain sword. And then I'm assuming there's going to be more kits. Yeah, so the despoiler I think is going to be made from the normal Imperial Knight kit. So magnetizing these is definitely well worth it. The Tyrant's the big boy. I think they said they were going to release a big boy version. But was that just me being stupid? I don't know. I mean, that one, it looks like the Imperial one. It's not particularly spiky. You know, there is some spikes on the carapace there. So maybe they're going to do a kit for that one. But there's the Abominant, our new boy. Yeah, it was Volkite. I knew it was Volkite. Ooh, 30-inch heavy 6. Me like. 6 is 3 mortal wounds. That's a beast. Only -1 AP. Not very armor penetrative. But oh well. Anyway, I mean, it's a codex. You all know what a codex is. It's lots of pretty pictures. Lots and lots of pretty pictures. Some background lore. More pretty pictures. Pretty pictures that make your own painting seem completely pointless. And then, so you've got, what's that, page 52. Hang on, I'm not letting you say that. There we go. Yeah. So 52 to 100. So nearly half the book is pretty pictures, and then half the book is rules. So 112 pages. It's a lovely cover though. So that's me for this video. I'm going to try to build these up, and I'll do a build review of the Chaos Knight and the Warglaves sort of combined. But I don't know when I'll get around to that. So